All right, fourth period, my AP kids, my wonderfully talkative class. And because you're wonderfully talkative, there will be some changes on Monday. Mr. Rath is a little tired of having to compete. And I'm afraid that some of your guys' test scores, that was Rocky saying hi. Some of your guys' test scores are going to show that. And they're going to show that some of you haven't been paying attention. So, we will have a seating chart come Monday. That's the big change. So just prepare for it and deal with it. So, congressional elections, everything in red is going to be your Unit 2 reading. I will post it on Blackboard. So I'm not going to talk about it. But congressional elections is what I'm going to talk about. You're not going to be too long today because the path to the presidency, all that you're responsible for. On the Electoral College, I will talk about in class tomorrow. And then campaign finance is what you'll have in video notes tomorrow night. So I'm going to do one real quick, and then you'll have the other ones tomorrow night. So, primary elections. And this comes out of there being a progressive reform during, think about the progressive era. So that's where this comes out. And in order to win the primary, you have to have a plurality, the most votes. So, again, for this, and what a primary does is determines who runs for a big election, a governor or president, things of this nature. So there's two types of primary. There's an open and a closed, and a closed primary is one of the reasons why you want to register to vote and you want to pick somebody to a political party to register with, because California, if you don't register to vote and you don't pick a political party, then you can't vote in the primaries. So that's one of those things. There's three types of primaries. One, you have closed, which is used in most states. Only registered party members can vote for partisan offices, no crossing the party lines. Again, that's because of sabotage. We kind of talked about that. You have open, independents may vote. Voters get ballot of any one party they wish. Crossing party lines allow danger of raiding and damaging political parties. So that's the sabotage part. Then you have the blanket, aka the free love. Independents may vote. Voters can mix and match their votes. You can vote for candidates of different parties for different offices. Again, damage to political parties. This was used in California from 98-2000, but it was overturned by the Supreme Court. It is used in Washington and Alaska also, or was. Now, the state gets to determine. The state's political party party gets to determine if a declined estate voter is basically allowed to vote. Declined estate means political party, and so it'd be a modified closed if that is used. If the declined estate voter is allowed to, then that'd be a modified primary. Now, again, factors affecting congressional elections. The big one is huge. Incumbency. They have the greatest influence because the incumbent is the person who's already elected in office. They're the person that is there. So that is a big advantage to the person that's, again, already elected in office. So, because their name recognition and things of this nature, and they get money for being the incumbent. So when you're running for 90% of the incumbents who run are reelected, 80% of senators. A lot of this that you can put down here is because of gerrymandering, depends on where you're from, because of drawing of district lines and to see who votes where. You also have lack of competitiveness. Again, charges of permanent Congress and the call for congressional term limits ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. With approval ratings so low, why do they keep winning? Again, it's that gerrymandering. It's because of the drawing of the district party lines, and who does that is the people already in power. I'll show you the district ones in California on Monday. So this is why the incumbents keep winning. Advantage of the incumbents, they get franking privilege. Franking privilege is free mail, and they get their name out there by sending leaflets and things of this nature. Getting that free mail and using that franking privilege is a big advantage again to the incumbent. So these are the reasons why you get 90%. Campaign staff is already in place. You don't have to worry about again trying to find your campaign staff. You already know who's there. The gerrymandered districts, the safe seats, again, you draw in district lines to favor support those in power. There's 53 districts in California. And so I see is put a star next to that's very important, even though it's not highlighted. Committees serve the district, depends upon, again, a committee in Congress, they serve on it, and that's to support the district, whatever district they're in. Big one, E, another star, name recognition to get their name out there. That's a big advantage for the incumbent. Casework done for constituents, again, casework being anything that's done to benefit the constituents. Casework being Congress's work, that's what they call casework. The work done in Congress is done for the constituents. Pork bill projects for the district, and these are explosions of quote-unquote earmarks in recent years. They're pet projects that members designate for states and districts. Example, Congressman McCall earmarked $49,000 for a National Mule and Packers Museum in Bishop, California. So that is, again, how people get reelected for this. And a pork bill project, or riders is what they're called, is when bills are passed and become law, there's negotiations between Congress and people, and so what happens is they get added and get passed to a bill. You're not going to deny a bill getting passed for like $550 billion when a pork bill gets added on to this. And if you're not going to deny it for $1 million project. So pork barrels or riders get added on to bills and laws just to get things passed so congressmen will vote for them. And so that's a big one. And then another one is money. In recent House election, incumbents outspent challengers 3-to-1 ratio. So they have the upper hand again in raising money. Incumbents have a war chest to discourage challengers from running. So that's a big one right there. And if you go on the back, if you look at type of election, not the back, just right here, you have incumbent campaigns. These are least competitive, often in districts with safe seats. Safe seats means that Tom McClintock's safe in our district. He's a Republican. He's a registered Republican. Nobody's going to really run against him and challenge him for that. You have weak challenger campaigns, uncompetitive, but more competitive than in the incumbent campaign. The challenger's, it's not a safe seat, but he's or she's not going to really win. You have strong challenger campaigns, more competitive than the above two. Again, it's hard to get that incumbent out. You can still be a strong challenger, and that's what it would mean, but you're probably not going to win. Now, the ones that are interesting in our election right now, the open seat campaigns, the most competitive, that's where the two parties, somebody retired or died, and then you're running for that open seat, either in the House or the Senate. And again, then you got the House or Senate, and the latter is more competitive. But again, two more very competitive races, two very competitive things. We're going to be looking at those. Midterms elections, again, that's when you decide the House and a third of the Senate. This again seems to change. Who controls the House is usually indicative of if the president's popular or not. And these are just some little facts here for you. You have the coattail effect that can again a factor influencing the congressional election. The coattail effect. If a popular politician, let's say Obama, is really popular, then the coattail effect would be you just kind of saying that you're friends with Obama and all this other stuff. Some high-ranking politician's really popular. You try to align yourself with them if you're obviously like running for city council, and Tom McClintock's real popular. You want to, hey, Tom McClintock supports me, blah, 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 blah. That'd be the coattail effect. You got media, and the media plays a big part, especially in the election of Senate campaigns. These, again, factors affecting outcomes of congressional elections. Media affects that outcome. You got party affiliation. Again, that's a strong predictor of voter behavior, so party affiliation is going to affect the outcome of an election. The issues, which you would think would be even more important, and where they stand on the issues, that, again, put swing voters next to that, because where they stand on the issues depends upon the swing voter. Campaign consultants, again, or think of experts and handlers. They run your campaigns. They do the push polling. They do public polling for you, find out what people think about certain issues so you can know where your constituents stand on certain topics. Technology, social media, blogs, Facebook, Twitter, internet, all that stuff, that's what the politicians are doing. These are factors that are really big in helping with the elections and being reelected. Alrighty, if you have any questions, concerns about this, let me know tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Again, we only have one video for AP.